Hi everyone, thanks for checking back in. I'm sorry I haven't posted my next video till now. Anyhow, getting on to the next subject, which is junior high and high school. I'm not going to spend too much time on it because I want to get on to the real deal, which is talking to people and diving into the real problem as today's current situation with real live stuff, bullying of real kids that are happening today. But I want you to understand why I'm doing it and why it's important to me, because it happened to me and it's deep in me and it scarred me for life. And it's happened to my kids, and it's actually happening kind of to my daughter right now. She's doing all right, but it's real. Bullying is such a real thing, and it's part of life, kind of. It's weird. It happens in the workplace, it happens at school, happens in relationships. But in brief, I went to 4 different junior high schools and 1 high school. And in all those schools, I experienced bullying, and I took it with me from elementary school. My mom thought by putting me in a school far away from where I grew up that it would help me, but it didn't, because I knew nobody and I was the outsider. So they teased me. I didn't have a lot of clothes. I was from a family that didn't have money, and so I was dressed kind of the same thing all the time, same pants, different shirts. And this was a rich school, and I got teased, pushed around a little bit, and so I ended up ditching school and isolation, and girls would write notes and leave notes on my locker. It was just bad. Ended up getting involved with some bad kids because you gravitate towards those kinds of people, and ended up getting kicked out of that school because I got in trouble. And then I got put back into the junior high school that I ended up supposed to have been going to, and from elementary school. And hold on a second. And that was very bad because the girls wanted to know why I left. And then the bullying started all over again, and that resulted in some fights because I was back at the elementary school, girls' school, and that lasted for 2 months. And then I ended up at a school far, far away with kids that did not like me, and once again wearing the same kinds of clothes. When you don't have money and you're put in school having to wear the same things with girls that can dress nice, I can't even imagine growing up like that now, but that's rough. That's just one thing to contend with in school. I had to deal with that all the time. So that was one thing to go to school with every day. Then I guess I was considered a cute girl back then. So the boys liked me, and then the girls hated me. So that was an issue. And then they wouldn't let me in their groups, and then they would pick on me and pick fights with me. And then one thing led to another, and it was like, I'll meet you out, and we're going to meet you out behind in the alley. Tammy's going to be in a fight, at 3, after school with, Susie. I'm making up a name. And I didn't want the fight, but that's what would happen. So that went on for about 1.5 years at that school. And I finally got kicked out of that school for hanging around the wrong kids and that kind of stuff. Then I ended up at my last junior high school, which I thought would help me because I had a friend there, but that turned out to be the worst nightmare ever. That girl, who was my friend since I was a little girl, ended up being very jealous of me, I guess, and made every girl in the school hate me. And that took me into high school, where girls hated me. I don't care what group I tried to get into, it just wasn't going to happen. I told people she was my friend, like my sister, and she said that I was a liar. And I just didn't have good luck. And high school was awful. I was so beaten down by every school, every group of kids. That's why you have to watch your kids. You have to, when you see your kids come home and they're not doing homework and they are laying on their bed crying, or they're sitting there in a daze, or they're, on the phone with a friend crying, or they're not eating, or they're, in my case, running away at night out of the window, with a guy, which I was, You have to watch your children. I mean, I was so out of control as a teenager. I don't know where my parents were. Like I said, I was bullied in high school. Let me get to that. So I would go to school, and there would be notes on my locker. They would write "slut" on my locker. So when I watched that movie or that show, 13 Reasons Why, I resonated so much with that girl, Hannah, that she didn't do anything wrong. All she did was go to school and have friends, or make a friend, and something happened. And they twisted the story, and that's what happened to me almost. I went to school and I didn't do anything. And they made my life miserable. And I'm sorry if I'm rambling. I'm just walking. This wasn't my format that I was going to use, but I wanted to get this out. They wrote "slut" on my locker. They would whisper at me and laugh at me. I would get notes passed around, and I'd find a note like, "Tammy's the dirty slut," or "the whore." Like, they said I was dating the whole football team, and I wasn't. One of the guys from the football team liked me, and I liked him, and we didn't even do anything. I kissed a guy, and it got twisted that I slept with some guy. It was just really, really bad. You do one thing wrong in high school, it could be twisted if you're not liked. And really watch your kids. As far as, and then girls and boys too. Girls will pick boys to protect them, and then they get in trouble for doing that. So that's a whole other episode for Bullies to Butterflies. When you're bullied, you end up picking bad relationships, and you pick bullies for boys, so, in your life, which I did too. So anyhow, I wanted to get this out. I didn't want to spend too much time on myself, because I just wanted you to get a little taste of who I am, and the fact that I don't want kids to feel the way they do. There has to be a way and a solution for kids in school when they're feeling or getting treated this way, that they can reach out and talk with someone, or there's got to be a solution. My daughter, she's got Mean Girls, and she goes to a private school. She feels so isolated. There has to be a way and a solution within the school that doesn't take place. And I'm gonna find it. That's my mission. So, enough about me. I will probably not do a follow-up on this. I'm going to follow up with an interview with my sister, who went through the same thing kind of, but a little different. And then an interview with my friend, Ty, who I grew up with in kindergarten, who I was gonna try to get in before I did this. Anyhow, thanks for watching. I'm sorry I was a little long. And if you have any comments, please comment. and I'm going to be doing interviews from now on and little clips. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe.